The Adirondack Mountains in northern New York are among the youngest mountain ranges across the globe. Formed by ancient bedrock uprising into a dome by tectonic collisions, and then carved into the mountains we know today by glaciers during the Pleistocene. Among these peaks, some tight-knit glacial valleys feature cascades and seasonal waterfalls that flow through the landscape. One of its most famous instances are the Cascade Lakes out past Keene. The Cascade Lakes were initially formed by a massive landslide off of Cascade Mountain in the 1860s, severing the lake in two by creating a natural dam and forming the famous Cascade waterfall that is there today. For those unfamiliar with the territory of the Adirondack Peaks, they are a massive, multi-habitable area featuring a vast amount of biomes such as bogs, swamps, fens, river valleys, and boreal forests. Roughly 6 million acres in total, the park features an incredibly high biodiversity rate and unique plant structures. While most people tend to think of the West Coast for Bigfoot sightings, the Adirondack Park has proved that it can host large animals such as moose, white-tailed deer, and black bears. The only real predators other than hunters to keep the populations in check are coyotes and bobcats. With plenty of edible vegetation, fungi, fish, remote areas, and freshwater sources, a Bigfoot would thrive in this area. We decided to check out the Cascade Lakes and the surrounding area due to a few reported sightings across the BFRO and other agencies. While some of the areas we went to were hiking trails, that doesn't mean that something might not be around. Remember, to have a Bigfoot sighting, there has to be the presence of a person. It is important to be able to distinguish between a human disturbance and something that might be related to Sasquatch.
We are in Keene Valley today. We are at, actually right in between the separation of the Cascade Lake.
He said we saw this big mound of fur, and I remember seeing that.
Did you hear that?
Long hair like a horse's mane or horse's tail.
So we're gonna try and go on the opposite side of the road.
Woods like this, you could be one just up on top of the hill looking at you.
And we would never know it.
Never even know it was there.
He said the thing then stood up on two legs. I smelled it back there.
I smell it.
There was this apple in the middle of the trail.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So we are in Keene Valley today. We are at, actually right in between the separation of the Cascade Lake. Now, apparently there was a gentleman camping in this parking lot in his camper or his van, right over there in that parking spot. And he said it was early one morning. He woke up and he was out by the lake, you know, taking pictures of all the steam coming off the mountains, just like it is today. And he said something caught his eye. It was like, you know, this brown shape, and he thought, okay, maybe it was a bear. And he said it was leaned down, splashing the water, and he thought it was a bear. So he thought a bear was splashing the water with his paws, and he could even hear it lapping the water. And, you know, we thought this was weird because it's not typical behavior for a bear. But he said the thing then stood up on two legs, and it took one step into the woods, and he saw the trees move behind it, and he never saw it again. Now, this had actually spooked him quite a bit because the way that this mountain is set up, the only way it can really go is towards the water, or it can come back this way and loop around. Because these cliffs are so steep, even a Bigfoot might not make it up it. So he was pretty spooked that it was headed his way. So that's when he got in the camper and he took right off. So that was one of the reports in this area. It was collected by the BFRO, of course. And so we're in the same area today. We're gonna do a little bit of looking around and see if we can find any evidence. Did Brian put that there?
Oh, I don't know. The apple?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Where is Brian?
Right here.
Some Bigfooters often leave out apples as gifts or offerings, mainly with the intent to come back and see if it has been taken. It was odd that we had come across a fresh apple on the ground mere seconds into our journey. It could have been left by a local hiker or tourist, or perhaps it was someone else out there looking to do the same thing we were.
Did you put an apple on the trail? Did you put an apple on the trail? Did you see the apple on the trail?
On this one, 'cause I was over in there.
There was just an apple in the middle of the trail.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian didn't put that apple there.
No, that's weird.
This is where I'd want to camp.
Yeah, really.
Guys, careful in this part right here. It's fucking slippery.
That drops off pretty quick, don't it?
Yeah.
There's somebody over there, 'cause that's the side of the boot there. Oh, yeah, up under. What, those are animal tracks?
Or people, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I see the little. There, Gary. Just come on and get a drink. Yeah, I can see that. Flip flop was probably those people that were here.
Yeah.
She was barefoot. She was like she'd be leaving me.
No, I think she had a little flip-flop on.
What'd you find? You find anything?
Well, evidence of people. Smells like pine.
What's that?
Smells like pine.
Yeah. Man, come out on an excursion someplace you've never been before and find a spot. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Did he get the picture yet there? I wanted to blow up of the. He said it was coming.
I think so.
That just pissed me off. We were so close. Man.
Yeah, that would have been a good cast.
Brian and Anthony were trying to snake their way to the backside of the lake, where the Bigfoot that the campers saw was drinking from the water, hoping to get a mental picture of the encounter and see if anything else had visited the area to grab a drink. Shorelines are often the best place to find prints of any kind, due to the soft gravel, sand, or mud.
The seagull crap.
Yeah. Bird poop.
Maybe somebody had a dog with him. Well,
This almost looks like deer
Looks
tracks.
like a raccoon right there.
Yeah.
They definitely come down here to
Oh, somebody built a fish trap or something?
There's no ash in it.
Yeah, it's not a campfire. Looks like there's a piece of fishing line in there, though.
Well, I don't know which one guys just hooked up. I don't know where the hell the trail goes from here, whether it goes up and around or. Well, don't know. Where did we go?
Well, I can definitely say I don't think we've been in a terrain quite like this yet.
Not quite. I don't understand. It looks like a trail to me.
I didn't.
Tim, good friend of mine. We trapped for years together and coon hunted. He stopped up yesterday. He said, "Brant, you remember the time we were down the Pontley River? This would have been back in the late 70s. He said, we saw this big mound of fur, and I remember seeing that, but I don't recall, and it had long hair like a horse's mane or horse's tail. And he said, you don't remember we called the game warden, and Terry Chase came up, who was our warden, and he come up with a biologist and said, we'll take it from here. And I said, no, Tim, I said, I'm sorry, I don't remember that. I remember finding it was a big, huge, looked like somebody took an old hair rug and threw it out there. It was right along the Pontley River in the pucker brush. And I said, no, I can't. He said, you really don't? I said, no, Tim, I don't. I remember seeing a big mound of what we thought was fur because we were in there for trapping purposes.
Yeah.
And I do not remember that.
Huh.
So think about it. And I said, well, I did. I thought about it all night, and I didn't come up with anything. Well, I'll be damned as to where the hell we go.
Yeah, I didn't really expect. I knew this was probably just going to be a quick one because I know this area is hard to travel. And that's why I had that other spot in mind.
Oh.
Because I figured there's we could do a little bit of looking around, but if we go any further up and we're going to be hill climbing or rock climbing.
Well, maybe go back off towards them guys and see what it's like on the other side, down that side.
Yeah, we can check down the other side.
Places like this is where you need to blow up rafts.
Yeah. And just check out all the little banks.
I was gonna go that way, but it looked like it was
It's
pretty
hard.
rough terrain.
It starts really going up over there.
I knew this area, it was going to be a quick one, just because if you go up any further and you're going to be climbing a cliff. But we mainly just wanted to check out this area, and we can go down near the other side of the lake, and we'll look there.
Get on there and give it a shot. You see, there's been raccoons, there's been deer.
Yeah, they would definitely love this area. Just look at that.
I'm not so sure about the cars, though, you know? But that way?
Look at that. There's that apple, bro. Right in the middle of the trail.
If they brought it and they dropped it.
Yeah. Or if somebody else left it
Or
here.
somebody left it here for me.
We worked our way around the back side of that side of the lake as much as we felt comfortable with Brian, who was an older gentleman, and the wet conditions provided little traction for such a rocky environment. The Cascade Lakes are actually very popular for this reason. Droves of rock and ice climbers seek out this area for the steep cliff edges.
How about electric motor?
It's too bad there's not more beachfront down here.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't look promising over there, Tony.
Not really.
When we got to the other side of the land dam in between the two lakes, we searched the shorefront all the way up until the cliff's edge. Again, we found multiple pieces of evidence of local animals, but no such luck with Bigfoot. There are over 200 Bigfoot sightings across multiple agencies and evidence gatherers across the Adirondack Park. Whitehall, New York, is often seen as the Bigfoot capital of the Northeast due to the 1976 events of Abear Road, corroborated by our team member and former police officer Brian Goslin, in which town denizens and 2 police agencies saw Bigfoot. 96 miles north of Whitehall in Keene Valley, the focus of our investigation, one other interesting report from the BFRO reads as follows. I didn't have an encounter exactly, but we are owners of a camp in a remote region of the Adirondack Mountains. This camp is only accessible by hiking to it. There are rarely anyone ever around our camp, and we have found strange things that have occurred. Number 1. In fall 2002, we went hiking for the day, and when we got back, we found a small pile of rocks at the back door that were neatly stacked with a stick coming out of them. These rocks were not there when we left. They appeared to be deliberately stacked. We understand that these could have been easily made by a human, but there is never anyone around up there. Number 2, fall 2003. One night around 7:30 p.m., my wife and I went outside with 2 dogs. We smelled something very strong and musty, like nothing we smelled before. It wasn't the dogs or anything that we could identify. The 2 dogs got very antsy and wanted to go inside right away. This was very strange and freaky. These dogs are generally not scared dogs. They're also large dogs, about 80 pounds each. We had never seen them act this way. When we bring them out at night or day, they run all over the woods. This night they wanted nothing to do with that, almost like they smelled something that scared them. Number 3. The same exact night as number 2. I went outside around 9:30 p.m. to relieve myself. While I was doing that, I heard large, heavy stomping behind me. The stomping was loud and heavy as if something was fleeing. The strange part is it sounded like it made 4 to 5 bounds, then stopped. I heard nothing else after that. I looked around a little, but the happenings of this night made me uneasy, so I went inside and locked up the cabin. I don't know what did all of this. Maybe it is easily explained away, but these things all together make me think it might have been a Bigfoot. With this encounter in the back of our minds, we then headed on further into the wilderness of Keene Valley.
There's a campsite right there. Another one right there.
Yep.
Huh.
So then you can drive in here.
I would think
Must
so.
be.
So this is very much like the Lily Pond Road.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah, I don't know how far up it goes though. It might just end right
Ends
here.
right here. It looks like it might go off that way. The trail. I would think there's got to be a trail going where they go hiking or something. Well, you want to head back in on one of these trails for a while?
Yeah.
A heavily debated topic among East Coast Bigfooting crews is the hibernation versus migration theory. The Adirondacks themselves can hold some pretty harsh winters, especially in the high peaks. We at Finding Dystopia have not come across any evidence that a Bigfoot would hibernate, and in fact have heard many reports of these large hairy beasts being spotted in the wintertime. We hypothesize that some Bigfoot may very well reside in the park over the winter, sticking to the low elevations like deer or moose due to the vast amounts of snow and lack of food the higher up you go. Others may very well travel back west or further south to escape the harsh winter. In a hypothetical sense, competition would be high if every Bigfoot were to stay in the park over the winter due to the lack of reliable food sources.
This is where we need to be, fellas.
Yep. As dry as it's been, any place there's an abundance of water, you're going to find tracks of all kinds for critters anyway.
A lot of pine debris on the floor, huh?
Yeah. Oh, you'd see a good indentation, I would think. I'm looking for a bowl going down to the water.
Yeah. This tree got broke.
Which one? Oh, that one there, yeah.
It's like somebody just...
Dead our doornail, probably. Wish there was a sandbar edge along that water. I'm gonna get down and walk in on the rocks in the middle. Pretty cool, actually. Would be a left foot if it were one.
This is definitely a good spot. Man, we're in it, huh? You want to go up and we'll try and flank around?
Got a ribbon hanging on a tree up here.
A what?
A ribbon.
A ribbon?
Ribbon, yep. Somebody marking their campsite or something, I don't know. I need the hell out of this shit. I figured by now we'd have found a trail. A well-used trail, especially from the deer or something coming down to drink, but find something.
The problem is this is such a good area, but there's so much cover on the ground.
The leaves are dropping like a bastard. That's the bitch about going up into Hogtown this time of the year.
Yeah. It's a good thing to scout this out though, because we can always come back early summer.
I don't know how far back in they want to go, but we can always check out the other side of the road too. I mean, you see how thick it is in here, Christ, Tony. There could be one right over there standing in the darkness of the shadows.
Yeah, you'd never know.
You'd never know it.
Especially if they're standing still.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's a little sandbank right there.
I think he's up on top there.
Okay?
Where?
Yeah, it's the incline, right?
Little bit of it is this time of year with all the leaves dropping. That's the way it would be up in Hogtown now. All them brooks, leaves on top, unless you can get where there's a bog and, you know. You head out and go down the other roadway for a while.
Yeah.
Even though we were only a few miles southeast of the Cascade Lakes, the terrain already felt vastly different. Transitioning into diverse, heavily forested areas with the outflow of the Cascade Lakes flowing into multiple rivers and streams. This already felt like a much better area for searching for evidence. Though the leaves on the ground made it difficult, we were definitely in the right spot.
Like I said, in woods like this, there could be one just up on top of the hill looking at you.
And we would never know it.
Never even know it was there. Seen it with deer. They wait till you walk by and then they take off.
Well, it was really cool back here, so we're going to try and go on the opposite side of the road. There's a different trail that I guess kind of goes down and around. Wanted to check the water out here and just see if we could find anything, but there's a lot of leaf litter.
And it's not bad walking to get back in there if
No,
you're
not
going to
at
camp, you know. Pew, what the hell was that smell all of a sudden?
I smelled it back there.
I smell it.
It
That
almost
musky.
smelled like somebody was smoking something.
You smell it?
If they were smoking something, it wouldn't still be here. It was just a weird smell.
Yeah, I know. I smelt it back there too.
First whiff of it I got. Huh. It smelled a little bit musty, but
Musty.
Different.
This side of the road already felt more promising. Instead of the maples and oaks that were littering the ground with leaves, this area had a prominent group of coniferous trees with plenty of pine beds on the ground to search. Pine beds are another favored spot by Bigfooters. While not having the detail that mud or sand can provide, it can still be soft enough to spot large impressions made by animals or potentially Bigfoot.
Wonder what body of water this goes into.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious myself.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it goes all the way out to Lewis.
Lewis? That's quite a haul.
Oh yeah.
We were situated on the Cascade Brook, which eventually feeds into the east branch of the Ausable River, and the Spruce Hill Brook that sits underneath Hurricane Mountain. Hurricane Mountain is another hotspot on our map, due to a fire ranger's encounter with a tall hairy beast at the ranger cabin in the 1950s. While we did not get to explore that location today, it is on our list for a future expedition. And more recently in 2024, a hiker just completed the Hurricane Mountain Trail, and as they were getting ready to leave, they saw a large hairy creature take 3 very loud and distinct steps. Initially thinking it was a bear, the hiker clapped to scare off the presence. But after some contemplation, the hiker deduced that it could not have been a bear, and cited past wildlife ecology experience where they performed studies on black bears.
It's like a small bear track.
Yeah, really. Very good possibility. It don't look like too bad of walking on the other side either, Tony.
What's that, Brian?
It don't look like bad walking over there either.
Yeah, either side of it.
Wish I could do that. My voice is too deep.
There's something I saw back here. It doesn't look like it's, I'll show you. Did you see these two? Here and here?
Yeah, because Tony found... No, this is back further. Yeah.
Yeah, it was right there. There's a bear
we saw
track
these.
or something over there.
So then that could be bear also.
Very possibly.
Looks like something because it looks like it was digging.
It's probably a bear digging up for grubs or something.
Yeah.
But I saw it and it went like, and this one goes
There's one there.
further under.
There's 3, 4 of them in here.
But that was pretty much all I found back here. This is nice area though to catch a print.
Mm-hmm. I love both sides of the road, all the rock and water.
I want to know what the other side is though.
I don't know, where's that
there's,
one?
yeah, there's rocks over there.
Comes down.
They must meet up. This looks like we're on a little peninsula right now.
headed off in that direction, but
Yeah.
where's that one coming from? Not
They
from the
might
other side
split
of the road.
off up there, or it might be from the other side of the road.
Well,
That
it
one
might
we
split
were,
off up there
that one we
somewhere,
were
too.
just walking
Yeah.
at probably feeds down into this.
We didn't find much on the other side of the road other than your typical deer signs. We did, however, stumble across a lot of deadfall that looked like it had seen some bear activity, potentially as a food source for them. Dead trees and stumps are full of grubs and insects that the bears often take advantage of. It wouldn't be out of the question to assume that a Bigfoot would do the same. The Adirondack Park is full of wild edible flora, insects, and fungi, heavily dependent on the time of year. It can be assumed that a Bigfoot, like any native Adirondack animal, would know when to go and where. When scouting Bigfoot locations, it's important to deduce why they would be in the area. Things like food, water, and shelter are of the most important to look out for. With this in mind, we decided to head to our final location, Lily Pond Road, home to the disappearance of the missing 411 case, Thomas Messick. This is a location that we have been to several times and found some very convincing potential Sasquatch footprints. Just a few weeks earlier, Brian and Joey have visited the location and found a remarkable imprint. Unfortunately, as it was just a scouting mission, there was no plaster available to take a cast.
That's the way we walked in that day. I was on that side, Joe was on this side, all the way to the top.
Yeah, guys, be mindful of what's under you.
It's a hell of a deer runway.
Yeah, right?
I think that's part of a deer runway, Bri.
No, I'm just looking. Think you can remember that same spot, Joe?
Yeah, but that spot's way up,
Oh,
bro.
I know it's way up. I want to run into that big bastard they say cross Route 4, 21 footer. And that's what we figured that would have had to been height-wise.
21 feet tall.
Yeah. 2 years in a row, a week before the festival, when you're leaving Whitehall, the first hill you climb on Route 4.
Okay.
It right in that dip like that. There's a dip, and then before you start up the hill, and kind of another flats, and then you come up to the Big Apple Diner. Two years in a row, a week before the festival, a Bigfoot was seen crossing the road there. And who was? Oh, a lady that used to help take care of Nancy, daycare person. She says, "Yeah, I see Paul going down the road with some putty and all that happy horse. So he's casting something. So got a copy of his report off the computer."
And he's saying that
was
what he found was...
The guy that reported this, I know personally, he's knocked down, drag out alcoholic. But he said it was standing on the white line. You must have seen the pictures we had on that board. It shows it was standing on the white line and stepped over the guardrails.
Yeah, I did.
When you go over the guardrails, it's just like that. Boom. Right over the guardrails. That's why the guardrails are. So I'm standing there like this.
Trying
And
to
I'm
make
still this friggin'
that far
far
away?
from the guardrails, yeah. Wow. And this thing stepped, I said, well, average-wise, and look, Sue took a tape measure from the end of my foot to the top of the guardrails, and measured it, so I said, well, Jesus, I'm 6 foot. My leg is about, 3.5 anyway. I said, add some more. I said, we estimate about 21 feet high it'd have to be. Either had to go tree to tree or had wings. Because there's no way it crossed that road and did that step. And there's not a goddamn track down either side. We spent 4 hours down there. Now, some of the cockamamie stories I could tell you that people have told us.
Oh, I can imagine, man.
That family out of Manitoba, they ought to got a whole family living there, and they've been feeding them for a few years. Well, can we come up and get pictures? Can we come up and get hair sampling? No, don't want you on my property. I said, well, sir, it's just a story to me then. The best one was that video that guy had by accident, where you could see the small one come down out of the tree, walk the stone wall, and jump, get right up on the back like that.
Talk about the helicopter one?
The guy that studies the altars and shit from the air. He's a pilot anyway. Yeah, the stone wall is about that high, and this much of it was above the stone wall, body-wise. You see this thing get to come down out of the tree, going like this, and the thing is standing right there and just goes, whoosh, piggyback ride like. Then you just see it go, gone. I watched that. I'll bet you I watched that 15 times.
Wish we had that footage.
Well, he don't want nobody to have the footage. He don't want to tell anybody exactly where it is. And he had the tape for 13 years. And his grandson picked it out and asked, "Hey, Grandpa, what is that?" He said, "I never even noticed it." Because they would film, have it documented where their flags were, where they're going to do their digs and all this shit. It's crazy. I was as good as, if not better than the Patterson file, because you saw 2 of them. And you see this one come down out of the tree and hop on the other one's back. There's a certain kind of these altars he looks for.
Like Paleo Indian or?
No. It's got something to do with the seasons. They got a name for them. They start out in North Carolina and come all the way up through into Vermont. And he said about the only way you can really map them is from the air.
What are they?
These certain areas where they have a big stone, and it's got where the sun shines through it, and points out directions and all this shit. They got something alters anyway.
I hope that was a jailbreak on a truck.
Sounded like something in the distance.
Did you hear that?
Ooh.
Yeah.
But it sounded.
Wait.
Ooh. I did hear something. Seems to trigger it. I don't know what that was, but I heard something go, ooh.
It kind of sounded like a distant vehicle, but.
Yeah, it almost sounded like one of those air brakes on a truck, or that exhaust brake.
This was the kind of gravel, Tony,
That you found
like
it in.
this, that we found that track in.
Yeah.
So you can see, Kayla, right, how hard the floor is?
Yeah,
You
we
can't
got
even put a
there,
dent
we're
in it.
looking at it.
This is almost identical to what it was the day we walked up in here.
Yeah, it was. It was exactly like this.
That son of a bitch had to have been heavy.
And he had to be not too far behind us.
No, he's either in front of us, crossed in front of us when we were coming out, or crossed behind us when we went by. I can't even remember that spot where you got that eerie feeling.
There's a part of this trail that's completely flat as you're headed towards the
Pond.
pond.
They had about 20 cameras, put one on every stretch and every curve. Now this to me would be a good crossing. You're this side of the swamp, coming out of here.
Wow. This is usually full, isn't it?
Sometimes it's overflowing.
God damn.
Something we often find when taking witness accounts and sightings is that people don't want it to be investigated further, or they don't want their evidence to be presented to the public. This can be incredibly crushing in cases such as the helicopter footage that Brian reviewed, which could be one of the best pieces of evidence out there.
I got that feeling.
Do you?
Huh. It's in this area. It's either been in this area or is in the area. So they're around that corner right there. A little further. Something's telling me a little further. up into this corner somewhere. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. As in my book, there's been one in the area. That's the way I read it. You know, I've been in the woods before and get that wicked, raunchy, musty smell.
Yeah.
And I always attribute it to rotting wood of some kind or something. Who the hell knows? Maybe it was one of
He
them.
was smelling, yeah. I think this is the area around about, like either here or up above that hill that we found that track. It was
This
right.
far up?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember it was a little bit marshy looking off to the right.
Well, there's a second marsh up here.
Yeah, I know that. I remember that. But it wasn't there. God damn it, that feeling's gone, but... Then probably, by the looks of this, some of the stones being turned over, somebody was either in here the first thing this morning or else yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, I could see some of them are like flipped up. Now, supposedly this is a roundabout, the area where they were hunting.
Right in here?
Supposedly. There was a marker, Brian, on one of the trees where he was supposed to be sitting, but I think somebody took it down or stole it or...
Nothing. Not even a chipmunk.
No.
That's a weird.
The only thing I can hear, though, Brian, is like a faint, sounds like a cricket sound. Is that what that is? Frogs?
I can hear a lot of ringing. Tries being this quiet during deer season, you hear the bastard coming half a mile away.
Yeah. You'd hear it breathing.
If he was running, you know. There's an orange flag there. Right there.
Want to look in here?
Why not? Oh, it's up a snowmobile, I guess. It says Polaris on it.
This rock, I believe, is the rock that Tom was on.
Really?
Yeah.
He was sitting on a big rock.
And all the way down the road, they were set up, I think, 40 or 75 yards from
Apart,
each other.
yeah. Did they ever come up with his body or anything?
No.
Really?
They never even came up with his gun. No clothes, no gun.
That's
He
fucking-
had a radio on him, no radio.
That's weird. This Joe. I told you he calls me every once in a while. I told him
Yeah.
what I thought of that video. I said that's all AI generated. But anyway, well, did anything look as close to what you saw? I said one of the faces, yeah, looked more human-like, not ape-like, and not in more human face. But anyway, he said, "You hear about those hunters in Arizona? One was 24 and the other one was 26. Someplace they were hunting down there, and it was right on the border of New Mexico and Arizona,
They saw
and
something.
they just disappeared.
Oh, no way.
Oh yeah, they're gone. And they were both from Colorado, way down there hunting. With Colorado, with the hunting they've got there, but anyway. And 3 weeks later, another one single individual from Colorado, same area, ended up missing. Found no evidence or nothing. The people that last saw him from a hiker said this is the last place he had seen him. And they went and they back checked and everything else, and they found nothing.
If these creatures are as rare as we think, you cannot expect to always go out and find something. We cannot stress the importance enough of getting out there in the field. Armchair research is half the work. You have to familiarize yourself with the terrain. When you go out into the woods, you will never come back empty-handed. Being able to identify native animal prints and signs isn't always easy, but it can be very rewarding. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more East Coast Bigfoot expeditions.